Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas again. Today's date is still October 8th of 2023. It's 8 a.m. in the morning. Um, tomorrow's a tomorrow's Columbus Day. It's a national holiday here in the United States. I've got a doctor's appointment, which I'm surprised about. Eye doctor, and they've called me a couple of times. I'm surprised that they're having. Anyway, I'm going to. Well, I can't call them today, Sunday, and my appointment's tomorrow. Oh, it is in the afternoon, so okay, I can call. I was thinking it was early in the morning. Anyway, I'll call them Monday morning to make sure that I do have the appointment. But I've got to call today here in about an hour. I can call the transportation service that will pick me up and take me and pick me up and bring me back. And so I need to make an appointment for them to pick me up. And that appointment has to be like um, for like an hour and a half early for them to make sure because they pick up other people, on the route. So, and then the problem is, and I should have asked, um, but when they do know when you go to the doctor's office that you have to tell them, that when they can pick you up. But uh, if you get tied up, which could happen because I'm having, I think, a couple cataracts removed. I don't know what else. Um, so you have to tell them, So anyway, first thing I got to call is make an appointment to be picked up here, and then of course they want to know when you want to be picked up there, and I think I'm gonna have to give them like say 2 hours. Pick me up there after 2 hours. I don't know. Anyway, I've got that going on. Anyway, I've had a few. I just did a video about Verizon service, and uh, I think both people commented. Maybe I forget. I got. You would not believe the amount of stuff that's going on in my life. And so, anyway, somebody, a frequent person who watches my videos and makes comments and constructive comments and offers suggestions that are, good and everything. But, uh, you know, he just made a comment that, well, I don't know if he said, I've forgotten everything already that I read, so this is maybe not what he actually said, but it's probably what a bunch of people are thinking. Uh, the problem that he's saying that the problem that I'm having with Verizon internet service is that they have a great service, and I'm using that I have cheap hardware in the process here, and if you have one piece of cheap, you know, item in that chain, then the system isn't going, it's not going to work. Um, well, this, remember, is my second attempt at using Verizon. The first attempt was, what was it? 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. I forget how long. And they shipped me the device, and I plugged the device in. I got the the three bars all green, and had good. I forget what 300, I guess. Had good internet. Everything was okay, and wow, I was just so pleased. And then, of course, I did not cancel my, you know, internet service because I wanted to make sure the thing worked. And anyway, hooked it up, great, great signal, and then boom, it disconnected for, went to the red signal and disconnected, and for 3 to 7 minutes, no internet. Now, of course, when I did that to begin, when the first time or two that it happened, I moved the thing around, but trying different locations, nothing like that worked. So anyway, back to the location that, well, a bunch of them worked. Back to the location, it's okay, it's green. And then after a few hours, boom, red. Then I just sat here and I looked over, and after 3 to 7 minutes, something like that, I didn't do anything, green. And that happened. There might have been an hour that it didn't take place, and but it just happened. That's what was happening, and I put up with that for a couple of days, thinking, well, Then finally, I just returned the equipment, canceled the service, returned the system, and that was it for Verizon. Then, 2 or 3 months later, I was thinking, because the internet service company I had, I was getting, supposed to be getting 1 gig down. I never got it. I think once I might have got 1 gig down, and I was paying over $100 a month, and that's all I was getting was the internet service from them. And finally, I just thought, oh, come on. So, when actually salespeople came to the door, just happened to come. They weren't coming. They were doing this area, and they came to the door, and I had them come on in. They were so happy to be, I guess most people would say not interested. Had them come on back. They saw my hardware and everything, and they signed me up, and 300, signed me up, or it took a couple of days for the thing to be sent to me, the device. I plugged it in, 300 down speed and 20 up, and it didn't disconnect. Stayed the same. No downtime, no, whatever. And it was like that for 2 or 3 days, 300 down. I made some videos here on, YouTube, about it. I can't kill that pay talk. They keep sending me these things, and it just keeps. They've gone, I've gone and tried to delete it, by the way, from the thing. It comes back. They're bound and determined that, that you have to, not them, not Verizon. It has nothing to do with Verizon. Anyway, for 2 or 3 days' time, 300 down, 20 up. Could be better than that. Good price. Although they didn't, I don't think I'm signed up yet. They never tried to. Didn't ask me, Then all of a sudden, it's 1 down, 100 down, and 10 up. I could even live with that. For what I'm doing, I could live with that. I could upload my videos to YouTube and do all kinds of stuff. And, but that was, So anyway, after a few days of that, I logged in. How did I do it? I logged in. Didn't call on the phone. And they jumped right into, chat. And I spent hours being kicked from when, the first time it's like, Mr. Howard, is it okay if I have someone, yes. Okay, next person, no. How can I help you, or whatever. That went on for hours. At least 10 people, maybe more, I talked to. Might have talked to 20, jumping into this chat thing. And I don't know what the system is there. I'm thinking I feel sorry for those people because I think they're probably knowledgeable about their area, but they just would jump, and then I was finally saying, I was nice though about everything. Sorry to take so much of your time, but every time somebody jumps in here, it's oh well, you're not signed up for the $30 discount you get. We need to take care of that. And I said, well, I said wife instead of so they don't wonder what. I said the wife is handicapped and she's on disability, and we were signed up with the previous internet service provider and getting the $30 discount, which still made it. I didn't tell them that, which still made it, that I was paying over $100 a month for just internet. I didn't tell them that, but anyway, so I said no. She'll have to take care of that later. She'll have to fill it out. I don't know except it's easy to fill out, very easy. She just has to put down that she's on food stamps, and that's it. And she could put down, of course, that she's confined to a wheelchair, and she could put down a whole bunch of it. You only get it. It's $30 is $30. You're not going to get $30 off for each problem you have or something. I didn't go into all that detail with them, but so then I said, I'm happy with the service, even though I had 300 down, and now I've got 100 down, but I can still live with that. And but I said I was just wondering if you could can you ping the thing and see, because I didn't make any changes. I had 300 down from you all for several days, and then it went to 100 down, and it stays at 100 down. I was using Wi-Fi. I went and bought excellent cable, expensive cable, because the person who left the thing said, I've got, and I already had my closet painting, by the way, I've done the display port, cables that I've been running. They made a world difference. I got the best you could get. And by the way, I think this guy who's complaining, nagging at me, I think he's the one who recommended this, and he was correct. I got this display port cable. Of course, it could have been HDMI cable also with the same cabling. It would have worked, but it was fantastic. But so I've got good cable. Now, he's got a point, except remember, I had, fast service with wireless and, with cable from the other service provider, where I was supposed to get, a meg down, where I got, 500 down, or even higher sometimes, with them, with the same hardware, cheap hardware. This guy talked about cheap hardware. With that company, I was getting 500 down or more, sometimes more, for years, with the cheap hardware and with the cheap cables, So then I go and, even when I got, Verizon there, until it started, I was getting 300, down and 20 up, and it was dropping out, which I hadn't had any dropouts with any of the other, like that, where it's just running, and then it disconnects every hour or every few hours. So now, do I have cheap hardware? Yes, this is a $200 refurbished Dell computer. I would love to have a $1,000 new, since I'm doing what I'm doing, I would love to have a $1,000, computer. I can't afford it. So just anyway, Verizon switched me around from person to person because they must have some type of a thing where if when you connect, they must have the timers or whatever. And okay, you're working there, and you've got this person, and they know, okay, they give you X amount of time, they probably figured it out. Okay, well, this person is calling about, the Americans with Disability thing where you get $30 off, and yeah, you can give the people the information they need, and boom, they're out in whatever time thing. But if somebody calls with, a system that every, few hours disconnects for 5 to 8 minutes, that's something, they could say, well, there's defective, but I mean, they want you in and out. I had at least 10 people, and they'd pop in, I think, with whatever they're, and the person that had them, once they're talking to you, Well, when they started talking to me in the beginning there, we don't have any record, we don't have any record of you as a customer. Well, I've got the paperwork right here with the such and such, and I gave them the number, that I didn't know the numbers, but I gave them the number it's over there now, the sheet of. Now that person stuck with quite a while, and then that person said, I gave them, that some different numbers, and then they said, wait a minute, we found here, yeah, we were just missing a 6 or something. Now we found you. Oh, okay, yeah. And that person did talk a while. But then I think maybe there's even a thing they hear in their ear. You have been on this call with this person for X amount. I don't know what's going on, And then they referred me to somebody else, and that person, whatever they're because I think I would say something, Really, I called, I let them know, hey, okay, the disability thing, we'll take care of that. It's already been taken care of with another company, and now we're switching, and it'll switch, we'll be able to fill it out again. And no, I'm not calling about, I had 300 down, I've got 100 down, I can live with, I even told him I can live with that, but why did it go from 300 to, can you send a ping through? Did I do something wrong? Then for a while, when they couldn't find me, I was saying, maybe that's the reason. Maybe your system is set up somehow that if somebody calls in and is, a trial user or whatever, although I wasn't a trial user, Anyway, all around and around we went. And you can't get off the merry-go-round. So, I don't know. I'm disappointed, does Verizon have too many defective pieces of hardware? Is that it? I don't know. But for the person who's been helpful with making recommendations and things in the past that I'm talking about, not talking behind his back, and I'm not naming him, and not even, it's just the fact that he says, well, you don't buy the top of the line, no. Remember the same hardware with who did I have for years, paying $1,000 or paying $100 a month plus. I had no problems. Same hardware. Or it might have changed hardware at some point during those years. And, service. Unless there was some type of a thing broke in their box out there, and stuff. One time a guy came, the internet went bad for us. This is not with Verizon, And the guy came out, and he must have been new. And I said, it's in your box. It's got to be in your box. Out there, it's got to be a loose connector. It's got to be, and he was here for several hours. He wanted to take, in the living room, we got the thing that's been there, we've been here 12 years. There's this tin thing. They had something covered up for some reason. They must have been some type of in there, and the guy was going to, must be behind this wall. I said, no, that's not been touched. Nobody's touched it. It's got to be. He got several calls from the guy he was supposed to be working with, I think. What's your problem there? And then finally he went out. And then he came back. All in that box outside with all the, whatever, all of those things were bright, brassy, whatever. And they were all right. But then I noticed down back there was this rotten piece of metal or whatever, and that's how you were connected. He says, so I fixed it, and you're going to be okay. But, and the point is, with my cheap equipment from, what's the name? It starts with an S. Anyway, I think an S. So with this cheap equipment here that I have now, I've had fast, internet and no problems. With Verizon, there is a problem. And two, when I was telling, when people keep jumping in, I said, you're about the 10th person or 15th that I've talked to in chat. And I said, I think you're all over the place with different things. And I said, look, you need to sign me up, I need to be signed up. You don't have any billing information on me. I have my paperwork, but no billing information on me. I said, you can't even find me. And, there's this thing here you're worried about, don't worry about it. The ex-wife will take care of that. I said, the problem is I had 300 down, 20 up. Now I have 100 down and 10 up. I can even live with that. Let's get this, taken care of. And, and I made him a little list. And then, of course, the last guy, okay. I said, I've been here for hours, and you've been switching me from person to person. I said, could you just have somebody send a signal or something through to this device and see if there's something wrong with it or why I could get 300 down and now I'm getting 100 down. I said, I can live with 100 down, and I'll even pay for the 100 down, the full price. But let's, can you try to do something? Can you, whatever? Go push the, the button on the back, the reset button. I said, okay. So I went and pushed that. Came back, no change. And then he said, okay, I'm going to walk you through this, I said, great, okay, great. Let's work on this problem. Then he says, okay, go to your Chrome. Now, I was using Chrome, by the way, but how did he know I wouldn't be using something else? Anyway, go to the Chrome. Go up there to settings or something and go to, what was it? Do something. And I said, we'll get disconnected. Oh, no. So I did that. And then I come back, and of course the chat thing, remember we're in chat, he had, the next step, and I said, okay, I did that, but I got to look at what's your second. Okay, the second thing you want me to do is go and empty the buffers or whatever he said, I said, that's going to disconnect us, right? No, that won't disconnect us. Okay. So, and he was right the first time. So I emptied the buffers or whatever he asked for. And then, okay, the next thing on the list here that, no change in the, still, 100 down. And he said, okay. I said, okay. I clicked it, disconnected. And I remember I'd been through it. So that was the end of that call. So, do I use cheap equipment? Yeah. I mean, cables and other things. I get the best that I can afford, and I can afford, the good cables. I forget what I paid for these others, but they worked great. They were for the video thing, high-speed video, and they were great. With my other cables, and this is when I went to 2 monitors or something. Well, I'd been 2 monitors before, but, and a special monitor. And I could just get 1 monitor with this, And this guy said, well, you should use such and such a cables. And I'd never seen him or heard of him on, and I went there and I ordered him in. Worked fine. He was right about that. So, anybody have any suggestions other than cheap equipment that I'm using? Maybe I should start a GoFundMe to get me a expensive computer. Now, something I haven't had time to get around to, like my Chrome book. That's a good, it's a good brand. I haven't had time with all of this stuff that I'm doing and with the other stuff going on with my bank account being hacked, and I having to get a new card and deal with all of, a new bank card and all that. Finally, that got taken care of. With everything going on and all kinds of stuff going on in my life, I haven't had a chance to get over and actually hook up the Chrome box and run the cable in, running this software, running the Verizon software to see how much what speed I'll get with that. But I guess that's enough. Back. This is the second video on just this subject alone within the last 2 or 3 hours. So anyway, thank you very much. Oh, look at that. Oh, you can't see it. Okay, Pal Talk or whatever. I think they're affiliated with. I think that's part of Windows or something, because it's that in the past this thing would pop up. Now I think what happened is when I would reboot my computer, that would always pop up, Pal Talk. And I've gone to the by the way, a list of programs, and you can't delete it from the system. You can delete other stuff, but you can't delete it. But in the past, it's always popped up when I reboot the computer, and then I click not interested, and then it doesn't pop up. But I don't know whether this is new or not. This thing, is popping up every 15 minutes or 30 minutes or something like that. That's crap. That's wait a minute, I know what I'm going to do is, okay, let me minimize this and go over here to here and go, no, I want to go here. Yeah, I'll go here. And then I want to, Wait a minute. Okay, no, I think I need to do here. No, that's just my picture. Oh, come on here. Okay, let's just do this. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what I'm saying. That's not it. PAL. Yeah. Pal Talk, the largest video chat room community, explores thousands of free online. Wait a minute. Pal Talk is a proprietary video group chat service that enables users to communicate by video, internet chat, or voice. It offers chat rooms, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's, let me do this, how to fucking remove it. Okay, fuck. Well, I'll just do that, you know. I'll just do, how do I remove Pal Talk? Okay. End of video.